This video is brought to you by the Disc Golf Depot. Check out discgolfdepot.com for more information, or go and check out the shop today. Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Disc Golf Nerd. Today we're adding another disc to the playlist, sitting at well over 300 discs, this time covering the Discmania Evolution SPORE. Relatively new disc from Discmania, the Neo line, made out there in Sweden. And this thing is an interesting disc, but I have some opinions about it, as you guys might expect. We're going to start with the flight numbers. Okay, so 1, 7, 0, and 1. Do I agree with them? No. Why are they set like that? It's to associate this disc with the glitch. The MVP Disc Sports glitch has been incredibly popular. It's been very successful. They've sold 1 million of them. I have a full review on this disc if you're interested in my overall opinions on the glitch. But do I think the SPORE is a viable replacement to the glitch? No, I just really don't. We're going to get into a couple of the reasons why in just a little while. But in terms of my actual testing of this disc, what I would set these flight numbers as would be 1 or 2. I'm not really too worried about the 1. It is very deep and doesn't move very quickly. So yeah, 1 or 2 is fine. Probably just stick with the 1 and then go 4, -1, 1. There's definitely some turn because I've been throwing it. You know, you guys know I don't have a lot of power at all. It rides to the right very easily, and I throw almost exclusively on hyzer, and it'll kind of pop up and turn that little bit out of the hand. So I would definitely put a little -1 in there, and the 1 is probably fine. Does have a little bit of fade back compared to the glitch, just that bit more. Now, do I think the glitch is really a true 7 in glide? Not really. I think 5 would tell the story just fine in terms of how glidey this thing is, but it's noticeable. When you throw this thing and it holds that straight line, you get it spinning on the angle, it just pushes dead straight all the way, and it does float. You guys know I don't throw high and I don't have a lot of distance, but you've seen in the review, it will hold a very straight line and float. For Andy, who has more power than me, he can get this thing to hold that beautiful straight line up in the air, and it floats noticeably for a long time. The SPORE just didn't do that during any part of my testing. It really just kind of behaved like any other beaded putter. And to be honest with you, the main thing I was thinking the entire time testing this thing is that it's basically a dagger that's 160 grams and in a gummy frost line type plastic. This plastic looks and feels essentially exactly like the frost line fuse that I tested recently. It's a bit shinier and maybe a little bit more sticky, but the flexibility is very similar. But let's take a look at it next to the dagger. It's a little tricky because this dagger has some wear on it. And let me see if I can get them lined up best I can off screen. So there they are next to one another. And you can see that they're pretty similar, although the SPORE feels a bit deeper in the hand, even compared to a dagger. The dagger, often considered a somewhat comically large putter. You know, it's a big putter. It's got a deep feel in the hand. I like it because I have these large hands. Like, this thing, it just fills out my hand and feels really nice. This guy takes it a bit further, where it fills out my hand so much that by the time I try to grab it, it ends up like deforming the disc with that gummy soft feel. So all in all, I feel like it's much more similar, in my opinion, to a dagger that's 160 grams and kind of gummy in the hand than it is to a glitch. Let's put it next to the glitch real quick. That gives you a decent idea of how much deeper. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but it is very noticeable. Let me see if I can get these lined up better, bottom to bottom. And there you can see how it just stands up that noticeable amount more proud. The glitch being so flat completely across the top, including over this far into the shoulder, by the time it gets in your hand, it feels very smooth and just feels really natural and good in the hand, in my hand at least. Another disc that's relatively similar in terms of the depth and the speed, but is very low glide by design and extremely neutral, is the Lift Discs Hydrogen. It's the Founders Edition in the Beta Solid. Put it up next to this guy. You can see a somewhat similar depth here, but there's no bead whatsoever on the Hydrogen. It's really just got like a mini ultimate disc type design. Really interesting one, though. If you guys like slow neutral discs, this is one you guys really want to try. It holds lines so nice. It's like completely the opposite in terms of glide to the glitch. This thing I would put somewhere in the middle. So yeah, we just go with 1, 4, -1, 1, and I'd be fine with that. But again, they want you to think, oh, it worked for me. It worked for me. I was interested in this disc because I saw that and I went, oh, be interested to know what, likely Tomas from Latitude 64 did to kind of take a swing at making a glitch type disc from the Latitude production facilities out there in Sweden. And yeah, that's pretty much why I wanted to test these. And the whole time I was out there during testing, I was like, okay, it's a gummy dagger. It's basically a gummy dagger. The dagger has a 5 for glide. So you tell me this thing has, however we want to designate it, it's 2 more for glide than a dagger. Look at Ricky throwing daggers on his practice rounds and stuff. Just holds a line for so long and just continues to float. So yeah, just kind of silly flight numbers. Once again, marketing based and nothing to do with actual independent testing of the disc, in my opinion. So all in all, I really like the plastic. The plastic is fantastic. It's grippy. It's really nice and soft, and it's got an excellent, comfortable feel. I'm sure it would be great to try to grab this thing out of the air if I were to play catch with it. Wouldn't be any issue to that, and it should be pretty low ground play and seemed to be during my testing. So all of that is fine. But when you actually have the depth of this thing in the hand, the actual feel is a little bit weird. And by the time I try to grab it, it starts to kind of deform and change angle in the hand. And I, just being honest with you guys, had a lot of trouble throwing and releasing this thing where I wanted to. Now, I was definitely rusty, and of course there's user error. You guys know I suck at disc golf. I would much rather have you guys watching, some high-level player throw these discs on my videos, but I got to work with what I got here, so I'm the only one out there testing. But I had a lot of trouble releasing this thing early and releasing it late. It just happened a lot during testing. All right, I give you guys my opinion on the feel of the plastic, the design, the flight numbers. Nothing left to do but talk about the flight of these things. They were both right around 160, by the way. They're not quite 150 grams. Most glitches are right around 150. These are a bit heavier, which I think is fine. Didn't really make a huge difference. If it was 10 grams lighter, maybe you'd see a bit more glide come out, but it's still not really going to kind of make those flight numbers make sense, in my opinion. So what is this thing good for? Well, it's been a long time since I've said this, but I actually think this would be a really viable option for people transitioning from other Frisbee-related sports. Ultimate, Frisbee, catch discs, that sort of thing, freestyle discs, etc. So if you're more familiar with a large Ultra Star or any type of ultimate disc in the hand, these might be a good disc for you to kind of dip your toe in a disc golf, get the feel of that kind of deeper feel in the hand, maybe make your grip feel a little bit more natural and what you're more comfortable with. The flight isn't hugely dissimilar either in terms of that little bit of understability. Pretty low fade, easy to get it to ride to the right, easy to get it to hold pretty straight on your flights and kind of work your way into throwing golf discs. Might be a better option than a modern kind of low profile or modern shaped true golf disc like a Luna or something along those lines. This might be a little bit easier for you to kind of transition over from those ultimate discs to this. Also, I think it could be a good all-around beginner disc like any standard kind of beaded putter. But the gummy, soft, grippy plastic does have some nice attributes to it. You're going to have to throw it pretty clean to get it to fly nice. Otherwise, it's going to wobble and do different things. So it'll kind of teach you a few things about your form and what you're doing in terms of the way it behaves. That being said, you guys know I've been playing for a long time now, and I had trouble controlling this. So it might not be the best option in terms of that. But overall, the flight is friendly, and if it hits a tree, if you try to throw it at the basket, it doesn't go in. It shouldn't go super far once it lands and stuff like that. It has pretty low ground play. Hits a tree, should eat some of the impact and drop down with that soft, gummy plastic. So all of those attributes could be beneficial to newer players. But yeah, I think it's probably best suited for people who like a deep dish feeling kind of beaded putter, but you want something in a premium plastic that's still really soft and grippy for approaches and longer go for it putts. That's probably what I'd be most likely to use it for. Would be times where I want to use my dagger, but I don't want to risk it going in the water or something, or if I don't want to risk it landing and standing up and rolling away. This thing should have a little bit more ability to eat the impact on the ground and not go very far. So it could be good for longer putts and kind of risky approaches, or if I want to try to throw one in or something, this could be a good disc for that. But all in all, I think it's a totally fine disc, and I really like the actual plastic material on this disc is fine. So that is my review on the Discmania SPORE. Thank you once again to all of you for your continued support. It warms my heart that anybody continues to stick around and watch these videos, as the channel has pretty much not grown at all for a while, but I'm just going to keep making videos for the people that are still here because I don't know what else to do with myself. And I love this damn stupid game. I've spent all this time working on this channel, so I might as well keep it rolling now. Thank you so much to everybody for your support, sticking around, watching the videos, people who buy merch. Link in the description to all the, the merch, coupon codes, all that stuff can be found down in the description down below. And of course, you can find a link to the Disc Golf Depot. Check them out for anything that you need, bags, carts, all the different manufacturers, used plastic, brand new releases. They got everything you could possibly need and more. Tell them I sent you. Much love. I will talk to you all very soon. Cheers.